Om Shri Sai Ram, Jnana Vahini by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Chapter 7, The Triune of Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya leads to liberation. A white cloth that has become dirty is washed using soap or soap nut or washing soda and beaten on a slab in order that it may become free from dirt and restored to its original clean condition. So too, to remove the dirt of ajnana or ignorance that has covered the pure Satchit Anandan, Satchit Ananda Atma, the soap of Parabrahma, Dhyana, that is meditation on the absolute Godhead, the water of truthful conduct, constant beating of japa on the slab of vairagya or renunciation are all necessary. Then only can the fundamental Brahmanhood of the Atma shine forth. It does not help if the soap is good when the water is soiled. All that soap and all that effort of beating are sheer waste, for the cloth continues as dirty as ever. This explains why many sadhakas or spiritual aspirants fail. Though they have meditated on Brahman for many years, their mind is still not getting cleansed. The fault lies in the water, not in the soap. Meaning, their daily habits, conduct, and activities are mean and low. That is, they are not pure. As a result, their mind is not clear from dirt. People, in their ignorance, fail to recognize these faults and consider the Deva Sashanas or the divine precepts or Vedic scriptures and spiritual disciplines such as Japam and Dhyanam that aids in attaining the Lord as iron fetters which bind them. Devasanas applies to all without any distinctions, right from a king to a pauper. However, instead of trying to understand the Deva asanas properly, many ignorants are turning against, condemning, and even fighting against those holy precepts. Their arguments are similar to the fools who plant tare and argue for not getting the harvest of wheat. But the wise man who plants wheat will be blessed by a harvest of wheat. The peculiarity of fool is they are always contrary to the wise ones. For everyone in the world, whether we believe it or not, 2 plus 2 make 4. The result does not depend on your likes and dislikes. The fact that in every being there is Paramatma or the Supreme Self, Godhead, is a similar inescapable reality. God will not give up if denied or enter if invited. He is there. He is being, very being. This is Satya or truth. And if you want to know it and experience it, develop Jnana Drishti or the vision through Jnana. Without that, you can never realize or experience the truth, as the telescope alone enables you to see things that are far away. So too, for an ajnani who is very far away from Parabrahman, Jnana Drishti is essential to see Parabrahman, who is eminent in every being. As the child refuses to believe in things beyond its circle of vision, the weakling, afraid of the travail of winning that Jnana Drishti through spiritual practices, says, I do not believe, and refuses to accept the all-pervasive, all-inclusive Brahman. A set of peculiar persons with curious ideas have cropped up recently. They strut about with great pride, saying, we have no yearning for God, we do not need God, we are sevaks, that is servants, helpers, and are satisfied with service. In fact, Such persons can be considered belonging to the lowest class among spiritual aspirants, for they could not say so if they have really known the goal of spiritual journey. The fruit of leading a successful spiritual life is attaining the attitude of Niswaratha Seva or selfless service. It is also called as Nishkama Karma, actions without expecting any reward. Is it possible to get fruits without a tree? Similarly, is it possible to build edifice with stories of Adhyatmikam, that is, spirituality, and Niswaratha Seva, which are the basis of spiritual path, without the foundation of Nitya Prema, everlasting love towards all beings? At present, the world is full of persons who clamor for good profit for themselves, but are unwilling to give good value for the things they receive. They say they want God only as a lip devotion, but are engaged in the cultivation of some other crop without paying heed to the precept, as you sow, so you reap. They do not seek it and strive for it day and night. They have, on the other hand, installed the God of wealth in their hearts and spend all their time and energy worshipping it and praying for its favor. Blessed are those who are pure-hearted. Those lives are filled with bhakti, that is love towards God, and prema or love towards all beings. Niswaratha Seva or selfless service is possible only by such. The rest only prattle about it and pretend to be impelled by it. Only those who are well established in the faith that all are children of God, that He is the inner motive force of every being, and who have full faith in God, can be able to do Niswartha Seva. For those who say they have no need for God or for bhakti, ahamkara or egoism is the core of personality. Adambaram, that is exhibitionism, its outer rind. However much you try with such ahamkara and adambaram, you cannot progress even a bit. Moreover, it will only lead to self-aggrandizement and selfishness, and when self holds away over the heart, no deed worthy to be styled seva or service can emanate from him. It is sheer selfish greed that makes him label his deed as seva. Agyana or ignorance will never vanish until this viveka or discrimination dawns. Until it dawns, the world continues to appear as world and not as God. This world is but one God and nothing else. Everything, every being is but His manifestation, bearing withal a new name and a new form. Until you establish such love and faith in God in your heart, you have to practice the properly designated ways of seva, bhakti, and dharma or righteousness. Once the realization of the truth or yathartha dawns, you will see bhakti, seva, and dharma as all one and indivisible. That experiential realization is true jnana. Without that knowledge, selfless service, etc., become mere exercises in hypocrisy. Every act done with the consciousness of the body is bound to be a selfish act. Selfless seva can never be accomplished while immersed in the body consciousness, but consciousness of Deva instead of Deha, of God instead of the body, will bring forth the splendor of Vishwa Prema, that is the all-encompassing, infinite, unconditional love. With that unconditional love as the basis, man can achieve much selfless seva. without even knowing or proclaiming that he is selfless in outlook. He is beyond the duality of selfishness and selflessness. For him, it is all God's work. Light is jnana. Without light, all is darkness. If you have not secured the lamp of jnana to illumine your path, you stumble along in the gloom with fear as your companion. This fear is ajnana or ignorance. The darkness is ajnana. Decide therefore to travel in the daylight of jnana and be worthy of this human birth. Through your success, you can even make the lives of others worthwhile. Vairagya or non-attachment will not shine forth without such jnana as well as bhakti. Deprive Vairagya of that basis and you will find it crumbling fast. Why? These three are the prime causes for the want of spiritual progress at present. All these three have to be emphasized together in sadhana, that is, bhakti, jnana, and vairagya, in order to reach the goal. They are not to be separated and striven for individually. Bhakti includes jnana and vairagya. Vairagya isolated from bhakti and jnana isolated from bhakti and vairagya, and bhakti isolated from vairagya and jnana, each is ineffective in reaching the goal. The best that each such isolated path is capable of is to cause punya samskaram or the meritorious deeds to some extent. Never therefore develop conceit and declare that you are bhaktas or jnanis and viragis or recluses by merely following each of those paths in isolation. It only amounts to delinquency. Sadhakas must dip in the triveni of bhakti, jnana or vairagya. There is no other way to liberation. For such sadhana, clean and pure mind, that is Chitta Shuddhi, is of prime importance. Of aspirants and sadhakas, there are plenty, but of those who are rich in virtues, the number is few. For example, observe this one fact. There are many who religiously read the Gita over and over again. There are many who have even memorized all 700 verses of Gita. Also, there are many who expatiate on the meaning of those verses for hours and hours. However, if they do not practice the true essence of the Gita, they are only like gramophone records and are not sadhakas at all. Their sadhana does not deserve the name. From all that is learned through reading, listening, and assimilating, at least a portion of that should be put into practice, and it must reflect in the behavior. Only that which is shown in thought, word, and deed is considered as true viveka or wisdom. Otherwise, it is only a jnana and aviveka. A true jnani will have no trace of hatred in him. He will love all beings. He will not be contaminated by selfishness. He will act as he speaks. On the other hand, a jnani will identify himself with the gross body, mind, and their functions. In fact, the body, the mind are but tools and instruments. The Nija or true, Nitya, eternal, Nirmala, pure, Atma Purusha is behind the mind. Man is filled with troubles, losses and miseries because of identifying himself with the body, senses and mind. All the names and forms that fill up this universe and constitute its nature are but projections of mind. Therefore, the mind has to be controlled and its wayward fancies calmed in order to perceive its true natural state. The ever undulating waves of the lake have to be stilled so that you can see the bottom clearly. So too, the waves of mental tendencies that ruffle the peace of mind, its steadiness and knowledge have to be controlled and stilled in order to perceive its natural state, Atma, Brahman or Jnana, clearly. Keep the mind away from lowly desires that run after fleeting pleasures. Turn your thoughts away from these and direct them towards the permanent bliss, immortality, eternal peace and eternal jnana derivable from the awareness of the pratyagatam, the inner self or Atma. Always weigh the low and mean fruits of temporary world happiness derived from the desires of the mind in comparison to the high and holy fruits derived from the awareness of the Atma. Thus, you are helped to become free from worldly desires and thereby grow in viveka or discrimination and vairagya, non-attachment, and moksha sattvam, desire for liberation. If you carefully examine the faults and failures of temporal sensory pleasures, you will be free from the faulty and falsy worldly vision, that is mithya drishti. As the gold melted in the crucible along with borax and others gets purified and shines in its pristine glory, so too through the practices such as vairagya and yoga, man too will shine with the splendor of Brahman and absorb in the jnana. Being possessed of such jnana is the sign of samadhi, that is complete absorption in Brahman or Godhead, as explained by some. In this path, success in attaining jnana is much quicker for those who are good in nigraham or self-control, and very difficult for those who are deep in aviveka or ignorance or lack of discrimination. Patiently cultivate the habit of meditating on your Atmahood and have the vision of Pratyagat Atma, the innermost self, the all-pervading Atma, in your Antaratma, that is the heart. Through Samadhi, progress towards the highest good is possible and liberation is won. The springs of ahamkara or egoism, its subtle elements, etc. arise from ajnana or ignorance. When the Atma Jnanam or self-knowledge arises, ajnana vanishes immediately. The signs of the rise of Atma Jnana are the absence of ahamkara or egoism and mamkara or the feelings of I and mine. The sum and substance of Atma Jnanam is being devoid of vasanas or the tendencies and impulses, destruction of ahamkaram or the sense of doership, egoism, and the feeling of equality towards all beings. Jai Sai Ram.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ